Alright, fellas, watch me dismantle this game in real time, right before your very own eyes. See that little rocky outcrop over there, that islet? Well, the game doesn't want me, getting across and setting foot on that islet, but do you know what this dwarf says to that? Ishkatu aishtum gurun.
Ishkakui, ai nur.
But anyway, first of all, I'm going to just make sure that islet is even solid. Yeah, so the grenade lands perfectly, which means the collisions are there. Now to shimmy my way down this hillside, carefully, very carefully. Alright, well fuck you too, game.
I'm Gabe Newell.
Well, well, to be completely honest, I was well aware that would happen. But yeah, it's the message that totally cracks me up. Normally you get something more in line with the game, like, oh, failure to preserve critical personnel or resources, but this time exceedingly poor judgment, which kind of makes sense, right? I mean, but anyway, watch me live up to that. Watch me live up to my poor judgment. I'm not letting go, and I can definitely do one better. So I'm gonna toss up this cinder block, really just chuck it into the air using my gravity gun, and just see what happens when it smacks me in the face like this. Well, apparently I've got a thicker skull than I thought I had, because a cinder block could easily weigh around, what, 20 pounds? I'm not even exaggerating, right? And getting one in your face at full speed like this, that's just, it doesn't seem, oh!
Ishkakui, ai nur.
God, son of a bitch, well that definitely hurt. I feel like my face has been just smashed in. Or maybe even like half my face is now hanging off. How come no message pops up on screen saying you're a dumbass, Freeman? Well, luckily there's plenty of health packs over here in the back of this van. Welcome to Lambda Cache number 26. Make sure to clean this one out. And yeah, there's this little Lambda even like on the back of the van. But the point is, if you're playing anything but the oldest 2004 version, there's gonna be like a giant spray tag on the ground, right? Just off the highway. So you can't miss it. In my case, there's nothing like that because, yeah. Anyway, this version of the game was released before, the Steam and the achievements were added. Yeah, so anyway, I'm really just slowing down and, taking a hot minute to appreciate the sights and really just take it in and enjoy everything and, breathe in this salty sea air. Yeah, it's wonderful for your lungs because, Freeman has been a smoker for the past, I don't know, something years. Smoker, heavy drinker, and definitely lifelong virgin. But, Alex is coming up soon, so don't worry about that. So, about Alex Vance, she's got a few things going on. Like, did you realize she was wearing purple underwear? I mean, none of my business that isn't, but yeah, if you look closely, you might just see a small edge of what looks like purple undies. Hope they're thongs. Kinda makes you wonder what color Eli's trunks are. Let me just make a quick stop over here. Just, stop in my tracks. And there we go. There it is. See that paper bag? Fuck off, milk. That's a little Metro Cop, right? Right? That is depicted on the paper bag. Now, obviously, I'm not saying this is the only time and place where you can find one of these. This is by far not the most unique item in the game whatsoever. They show up everywhere. It's just your generic litter, there to fill in empty space and add some ambience. But what really makes me scratch my head, and I'm scratching it right now, not only my head, but also my balls, is it just pure propaganda like put in CPs that is civil protection on paper bags? Because if you think about it, paper bags are one of the most mundane everyday things and items one could possibly think of. So advertising CPs alongside, not just alongside, but on paper bags, right, would make for a great psyop and propaganda campaign that is really subtle and doesn't stick out all that much, because you grab one paper bag with a Metro Cup on it, you grab 1,000, and over time your brain stops treating them and seeing them as alien and out of place, but almost mundane and everyday, much like paper bags. And yeah, just for your information, just for your knowledge, FYI, that was a combined roller mine. We've seen those before, but the last one it's been a while. The last one was, we found it at Eli's scrapyard at Black Mesa East. But anyway, the ones that are going to show up alongside this stretch of Highway 17 are going to be hostile towards us, on site, by the way. And what they do is they aren't as dangerous as they are really just annoying. Right? They will latch onto your car and zap you until you kind of just, I don't know, until your brain gets fried, quite literally. And you can use your tower cannon to really just blast them out of your way while you just, blow right through, just step on it and really never mind these guys. So my money, every penny I have, is on the Combine, just trying to slow me down. I don't think they're fooling themselves by thinking a few stinky roller mines are going to kill me, to kill Freeman. I think by now they have a pretty good idea of what a badass I am. Like, watch me, by now I have stolen every front page of Badass Weekly. What really sticks out, and really, you could see it and recognize it even with the blindfold on, is that how systematic it looks. Every barrel, every cart rack, every roller mine that just pops up in my way, seemingly out of nowhere. Make no mistake, it's been placed there by hand, right? There is a plan here to slow me down, and there's a writing on the wall. If you're not reading it, you're either dumb or blind. So I'm being slowed down. Make no mistake, I'm not saying that car racks would look out of place on a, dilapidated highway that hasn't been used in years, possibly decades. I'm not saying that. That's not completely out of place. But this looks way too systematic. And there's more roller mines over there. Let me demonstrate what happens when you're not careful and let them, swarm you. This is what happens. They swarm your scout car and they latch on. And then they just start zapping you. So really, they aren't as dangerous as they are annoying, exasperating, more of a nuisance, really. Yeah, pesky little fucks. So you see these, grab them with your gravity gun, and it's like, off with them. Alright, hunky punky. Now on to something a lot more exciting. See that run-down house just off the highway up ahead, just around the curve? Good. Now I'm gonna blast it to shit. Really just tear that place up using the alternate fire method on my tail cannon. And if you're not familiar, or you've really just got rocks in your ears and you haven't been listening, what it does is it allows you to penetrate pretty much any surface in the game, barring only rocks, solid rock. Now that's just not possible anyway, but if it's a wall or a fence or like a house, good fucking luck stopping that blast. Nothing can stop me. Not today. And look, there they are. Pesky little fucks just swarming outside trying to kill me. And see those red spots? That's a good indicator that, that blast penetrated that surface. But really, I'm having a hard time finding the mark today. So I'm not really hitting anything. But if you're lucky, seriously, you can penetrate pretty much any surface and just whack whatever might be lurking on the inside. And now we have this house, but make no mistake, there might be more enemies on the inside. I'm pretty sure there are more Combine soldiers taking cover inside that house. They must be terrified right now. They might be like shitting cinder blocks. Just imagine that, Gorgeous Freeman rolls up on you out of nowhere, just tearing shit up. Lobbing, grenades. How would you feel? Man, I don't care if you have any feelings or if you've been completely stripped of your feelings. You're still gonna be shitting yourself. So before I head upstairs, I would love to do something. And really, this is like one of the funnier parts of this chapter. Watch it. See? Did you see those those Overwatch soldiers just materialize out of thin air? They're really just dropped out of thin air. Remember, I was sniping some flammable barrels, right, from across the bay. Those soldiers were not there. If they were there the entire time, they would have been whacked. So it just really goes to show how many times, this game spawns enemies right in front of you. And before I head upstairs, I'm going to barricade myself in. Really just grab anything that's grabbable. Not sure if that's correct English. Anything that can be grabbed. Grab it and really seal up every door. just barricade yourself in. Because, well, here's the deal. The second you set foot on the second floor, and I'm about to demonstrate it in just a second. Let me just stack this door on top of that couch. Because the second, I'm gonna leave that shoe alone for now. The second you set foot on the second floor, something happens. And if you look out this window at the far end of the room, look what happens. More soldiers, another unit just pops out of nowhere. And they have 2 shotgunners, which are... Now, those guys are no trifle. 1 shotgunner is dangerous enough on his own, but 2, at the same time, if they get the jump on you or really just sneak up on you, they can catch you off guard and literally just strip away all that suit and health, and like, you might still have enough time to whack them, but yeah, they can do a real number on you. They can damage you something fierce. So you don't want that to happen. And make no mistake, this squad, they will try to get into the house through the front door, both. So this is why you always want to barricade yourself. Or if you're really feeling like turning up the heat, but grow another pair of eyes in the back of your head, because shotgunners will come upstairs and they will try to kill you. See, that door is open. That means someone tried to get in. Someone tried to force their way in, but they were ultimately stopped by all the items that I had stacked right up against each door. And look, we have this shoe. To be completely honest, I'm just glad it worked, because 90% of the time, they actually end up forcing their way in. There's nothing you can do. So this was like completely out of the blue. I did not expect it would work. But look over here. We have these shoes. And shoes show up everywhere in Half-Life 2. From the moment you set foot in the train station back in City 17, all the way throughout Highway 17. And I have my own theory why they show up everywhere. Most people would just take them, just brush them off as, I don't know, like environmental, like just junk laying around. But no, I have a theory that they are Chinese shoes, and they are so shitty that people just, you cannot pay anyone enough to wear these shoes in the world of Half-Life 2. That's why you'll never see anyone wearing this exact kind of shoes. You see these shoes laying around, but you'll never see anyone wearing the same type of shoes. Which kind of only, backs up my theory that these shoes might be, I don't know, from the time when China was really just flooding the markets across the world with, cheap-ass knockoffs. Look over there. If you climb this hill, you can see that last Combine soldier, probably terrified and with a soiled diaper, because he knows what he's up against. Like, imagine that. You're the last one of your kind. Not your kind, but of your unit. Everyone else has been wiped out, decimated, peeled apart, just completely shredded to bits and pieces, to ribbons. And you know the culprit, right? Your radio feed tells you that it's Anti-Citizen 1, aka Freeman. And then the dispatch, the Overwatch dispatch, feeds you another command that is like, hold the line or hold the highway off against Freeman, right? At any cost, right? No backing away, no backing up, just stay there and hold the line. Don't let Freeman get through. And you're the last of your unit, like I said, you would be terrified. So last but not least, just a quick swing around this rocky outcrop, just checking off that last box to make sure there's nothing there. And indeed, there is absolutely nothing. All the more shame. It's a shame, really. Because have you noticed how SMG grenades show up in unlikely places? Just one SMG grenade, not even a stash, not even and like I said, Freeman is badass, but he has yet to learn how to drive a fucking car. He can't spin that wheel, properly for 2 seconds without crashing into something. Well, it's a good thing there was like no civil protection nearby to cite me speeding or, give me a ticket or make me walk a straight line just to check if I might be drunk. Imagine that. They don't even kill you. They just like stop you, just pull you over. They cite speeding as the reason behind pulling you over, and then just like make you walk a straight line just to see if you might be drunk. That's it. Anyway, I cleaned up this little pile up. That's what I like to do, right? I know Breen likes to point out that all I do is destroy shit, but that's not true. I actually like to clean shit up too in my spare time. So, there goes that Breen. But there's something that I'm going to do right now. See, like back across the bay on that curve of Highway 17, there's that roller mine. Guess what? I'm gonna leave it alone as a reminder to Combine and Breen that not to mess with me. So essentially think of that roller mine as a sole survivor. It's like there to send a message. I'm getting a message out that don't mess with me. And it looks like something or someone has been, piling up more car wrecks in my way just to slow me down. I don't like it. And if you look across another bay, right up there on that rocky hill is not a hill, more like a cliff, but whatever, is another outpost crawling with bogeys, right? But luckily the game throws us a bone here. Not just a bone, but a crossbone. And this is an extremely powerful new weapon that I'm about to demonstrate just how powerful it is without saying a single word. Look at that. See that guy over there? There he goes. And congrats, we just unlocked another achievement called Targeted Advertising. And there goes his body too, just dropping like a fly. Look at that. He took one arrow to the knee and he just, and it ended his career for good. But, something has always bothered me about that guy until one day I kind of, jumped, head first into that and kind of did a little investigation. So here we go. What makes no sense is how in the name of Breen did he even get up there? I mean, we know Overwatch soldiers use rappelling to deploy from rooftops and heights, good. But we've never seen them climb ropes to get up walls or other vertical structures. Make no mistake, his being up on that billboard is not out of place at all. He's on watch at the highest vantage point in the area, monitoring all incoming traffic. That checks out. But unless he floated up there seems to be no way to be up on that billboard's ledge without a ladder, and there's none. What's totally hilarious is you can shoot the wooden catwalk out from under his feet. He will then just drop down and stand there like it's all good, happens. Just another Tuesday on the coast, right? That chair right next over though, it will remain up there, just floating in thin air until you whack the guy. Then suddenly the script seems to kick in that knocks the chair down. You can even do it from the other side by firing the tower cannon through the billboard. Alright, so before I kind of approach that Combine outpost, make no mistakes, those two guys I just wasted, they weren't the only guys manning that entire outpost. I see an APC, that means there's at least, like a small squad. So they're probably, holed up in that building right across the bay, kind of reporting that, Anti-Citizen 1 is right here. And what I'm going to do is just really blast a few jolts from my, not my gravity gun, my tower cannon. Because if you remember, it can penetrate surfaces, like buildings and walls. So just on the off chance that I might drop a few more guys before I approach. Good luck with that. I've done it a million times, but it never, not once has it worked. But whatever. I'm gonna use my gravity gun to really just declutter this pile up a little bit. Ooh. How did they even pile up all these cart wrecks? Do they have gravity guns? Or, oh, well, you know what, never mind. They probably used one of their APCs to really just ram, a bunch of cart wrecks together into a pile. There's this downed tanker over here, and you can actually check out what's inside the tank. I'm not sure if that's the correct word. And bear with me while I do poke around just a bit more. It won't let me pass through. What is up with that? So right up ahead, see, something is blocking my way, my progress, and it's this Combine force field. Now, we've seen force fields before. They are kind of pesky, right? And Combine set them up in places like this to really just hamper, traffic and impede traffic. I think, what they should get a ticket for impeding traffic. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. And there they are, see? They kind of responding to Anti-Citizen 1 now. Come on. Yeah, they're scared shitless. They know Freeman is here. And yeah, just to demonstrate once again just how powerful this crossbone is. Look, he's you can drop each and every one of them just in a single fell swoop, just like that. And it doesn't matter. The beauty of this weapon is that it kills your enemies instantaneously. It doesn't matter which part of their body you hit, It doesn't have to be a headshot for it to work that way. Hitting an arm or even a foot works just as well. And alright, so let's just poke around on the inside. This bathroom is creepy to say the least. It's just one drawn and a sink. Alright, there's really nothing going on here. I'm just gonna bash all of these windows. But if you check out these like gas pumps, look, they say summa, cron, volume. And they're just very different terms from different European countries. Like, for instance, summa is more of a Slavic word, whereas crown, I think in the Czech Republic, they have their currencies called crowns. But they also have something like that in Sweden, unless, I'm making this up. So, yeah, and what's really funny is just smacking one of these with your crowbar just once is enough to set them on fire. And then, just watch your back, don't stand too close, pull away while they blow up to smithereens. So it looks like we finally found the culprit, the power source for that force field, and it's this combined APC. Alright, to wrap up all the APC talk, the one hooked up to power the force field at the gas station outpost, you don't have to remove the chocks from under the APC's wheels or, push it down the hillside to cut the power. Simply toss the scout car around the field using the gravity gun. But if you're absolutely itching to actually get rid of that APC, there is an offbeat way to do it using your grenade launcher, and from a distance. Simply head down the same cliffside right across from where you find the crossbow. Now fire your grenade launcher at the APC to get it rolling down the hill. You could even try shooting the parking wedges out from under it, using the crossbow or the magnum, but this one can be a little tricky. Grenade launcher though, it works every single time. And yeah, really, it kind of beats me. What kind of battery does it have? It must have like a giant ass battery. It's not the engine is not even running. So powering something like a force field, while your battery is hooked up to power it, it would drain that battery pretty much. I don't know, very, very, very quickly. All right, well, good for them, I suppose. And just like that, we just dropped the force field. So we are ready to proceed. And this door, look at how swingy it is. By the way, if you swing this door, if you like knock it with your gravity gun and stand in its way while it swings back, it will hurt you. Not all that much, but I mean, kind of makes sense, right? Imagine like a big wooden door, easily around 50 pounds, 40, swings in your face. That would hurt a little bit. And Freeman is wearing glasses, right? Last I checked, he wasn't wearing any masks. So there's that too. For some completely odd reason, this place, always stood out to me in a way that I just couldn't bring myself to really just blast through this place. I always feel like really stop in and investigate. And even though it's been years and I've played this game more times than I can count, and I know there's really nothing here beyond what I already checked out. But I don't know, it's just one of those really cool, well-designed layouts that really just, doesn't matter if you know it very, very good. It's still just as riveting and engaging, I suppose. And see, I just did, kind of push my scout car using my gravity gun right around the force field. So just another proof that you don't have to really knock that APC off of the, you can leave the force field, you can leave it running and still get through it just alright. So, courtesy of the gravity gun in Game Newell. But there's one last spot around this area that I would love to check out. And it's this little fenced off area. It really looks like there's something behind this fence. There's something, and right over here, you can see that, part of the chain link has been bent down, really just, I don't know, knocked out of shape, really bent down, and it looks like you can climb over. But, feel free to use your your scout car, as a leg up over this fence, but sometimes for some reason it doesn't work. You just, you slide around, and you just slide right off of the car before you can climb over. So if that's the case for you, just grab a barrel like this. Barrels really come in handy when something like that happens. So just stack a barrel, place it right underneath this, part of the fence, right up against it like this, and just climb on top of the barrel and jump right over. And right back here, we can see some tanks there's a Magnum and some Magnum ammo, 357 mag next to this guy. And just like that, we just cleaned out Lambda stash number 27. As for this guy, and that's really up to that's anyone's guess what happened to him. What I believe happened is this whole gas station used to be a resistance outpost for a time, until one day it must have been raided by the Combine. And so they killed and dumped their bodies into the sea below, while this guy probably, managed to get away and really just holed up behind that fence. But then, he probably waited and waited until he realized there was no way out. So he just pulled the trigger to, to end his misery. This is what I believe happened. You don't have to believe, in the exact same thing. But whatever. And coming out of this tunnel, look, another traffic sign saying, 30. Fuck that. But there's something else. There is a Combine dropship over there in the distance, flying away. So you don't see these things for no reason. What happened is it must have deployed some troops in that next settlement, or a village, or like a cliffside outpost, whatever it is. And I'm just gonna poke around. This is like a really nice area. This is really one of those more picturesque and breathtaking areas. Really, it really just goes to show how amazing and beautiful this place probably used to be back in the day, right? And these days, like, everything is run down, and the Combine is running things and running the show. So anyway, I'll be cutting it short here. We're pulling up to the last big outpost in chapter Highway 17. There's a guy over there, so I'm gonna blast a few jolts from my tail cannon in case, oh, there he is. Come on, smoke him. There you go. He just got ragdolled across the road. Beautiful. So I'm going to quickly investigate this house, but lo and behold, apart from some windows to be smashed and some chairs and furniture to be whacked, not whacked, more like broken down into pieces, there's really not a whole lot going on here. No stash, no ammo, no nothing. What this guy was doing here all alone makes no sense. He should have at least had a partner, right? Like a brother, like a partner. But he was all alone. Did they really think he would stop Freeman? Like blasting his way through in his scout car? Come on, guys, you gotta be. Unless he was just a sentry or something to warn the rest of his squad up ahead. So yeah, we'll be calling it quits today, guys, and I'll see you next time in Chapter Highway 17, Part 5 out of 5. Take care.